Testing 1, 2. Oh, wow. My camera went away. Hold on a second. Well, the camera's a little weird today, but let's get going. So, guys, I apologize for the crazy issues. So I set our schedule, our stream, to go at 10. You guys probably saw that. It was a little bit different. It used to say just online, and so now I scheduled it. I'm trying to get to where you guys know exactly when we're starting, even though I put it in the email. So I hit the stream to go live, and I was live, and you guys were in the chat talking, and I couldn't see you guys and interact with you guys. And so I realized that even when I hit published, it was not going live to that same, that's why I said the stream key. So anyway, more information that you guys care to know about, but it's good to see you guys on a Thursday. We get a lot done on a Thursday, and I actually sent out to our email list just the idea that we are going live, and so you get an inside look at what we do every day for you guys who are on our team. I see that my piano is a little bit off from the MIDI stuff, but I think we can make it work. Well, it's sort of all out of whack, but we'll do our best. I'll have to readjust the camera and do all that. So, all right. So today we're going to do the following. We're going to focus on practice strategies, something that we do every day in the membership area in the Blues Academy. So we're going to go over 2 licks from Volume 1 as a reminder of what we did yesterday. We're going to add 1 lick, and then we're going to do daily warm-up exercises, alternate bass lines, benefits of being in community, and then we have repetition is your friend, which Ted and Vicky know that very well. We're going to do small goals for success, keeping it fun, scales up and down, and butter chords at the end, as well as a Q&A at the end. So let me tell you guys hello. Good to see you, Ted, and good to see you, Vicky. And as we get started, just know that we're gonna go through these things. And let me get my time down. It is 10:21. We're gonna go till 11:15. I'm gonna say 11, but knowing how I work and how we work together, we'll shut it down at 11:15 a.m. Central Time. So give us plenty of time. Okay, so the first thing I'll just go down the list. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to put those in the chat. Love when you guys interact, not only with me, but with each other. That's great as we're going through this together. And if you are part of our Blues Academy, just put that in the chat. Let others know that you're in the Academy. And today is about hopefully just encouraging everyone to practice. You know, often, let me just give you a brief overview of why I was thinking about this particular lesson. Is I have so many students that have been playing or used to play for a long time, and now they're starting back, and they kind of are feeling overwhelmed at times with what in the world to practice. There's so much out there. There's so many people, you know, like me doing things, and often probably a lot better than me. But people are getting courses and memberships and all kinds of things that they're doing. But you can feel overwhelmed if you don't know really how to practice. And so what I like to do is try to focus on some easy strategies to help you have fun with music and get a lot done. And we're going to do a lot of that today. So you can take these strategies and do whatever you want with them. But I promise you that if you focus in on some simple material, it can really encourage you to, one, move forward with music and keep it fun. I always want to keep things really light and fun, because you have to have joy in music, and it does bring us joy. But if we have so many things to think about, sometimes we can feel just overwhelmed and not want to do anything. So some of the things I'm going to tell you today are, when we talk about the 2 licks from Volume 1, we've been working as our student group on Blues Example 1, and we'll talk about that. We'll do a little bit of that today. We've been doing alternate bass lines, and we've been doing scale practice, very simple, but we also learn our major scales so that we can practice learning about how to transpose into other keys as well. And then we did a Ray Charles lick, which I will show you guys again, because we're in the zone of practicing this Ray Charles stuff. And for those of you guys who have been hanging out with me for the last 2 years on the underground membership area, you guys know that we did a whole workshop on Ray Charles ideas, and you guys loved it. So that's kind of one reason why we are revisiting that. Okay, so the other thing is small goals for success. I like the idea of really focusing on 2 measures at a time and picking a specific goal. Yesterday I had a lesson with a student, and we were talking about ways to really get good and really quickly. And I said, he's a very talented young man, and for 10 minutes we went through about 5 different exercises, maybe 6, in all keys, and they all fit right in the hand. And I'm going to show you some of those exercises. But also, if you talk about building confidence, you learn simple 2-measure phrases, or you learn how to do patterns within the 5-finger pattern of the blues scale. Anyone can get to where they're playing the blues and really understanding theory in just a short amount of time, if you know how to focus in and learn it. Okay, and then the last thing is, actually 2 more things. One is, I always encourage everyone to practice finger exercises every day. I'm going to show you those. We're going to do 50 days from 50 days to Flying Fingers Example 1. We're going to do the 5-note blues scale, and then we're going to do one other exercise from my newest thing for my students. Is called the Transposition Toolbox, and I've come up with 32 exercises that fit right under the hand. They're bluesy and jazzy and all kinds of things, but the reason it's great is because it doesn't matter what key you're in. All these work, and they end up working your fingers really, really well. Okay, and then the last thing we're going to keep talking about is community. I've moved away from just creating courses, which I love to do. I've always been a teacher. I love the idea of teaching and getting to know people, and I've been selling courses at iMusicAcademy for years, and many of you guys have purchased my courses. I absolutely love creating courses, and I love making my courses better, and I've been doing that with the help of my team. So even our older courses, we've gone back and made sure, how can we make these better? But the most important thing is, I don't want to just create courses. I like the idea of community. And yesterday was a perfect example, and even this morning, Ted and Vicky are part of our group, and they're talking before I even get on the live. And that's what I love about community. Whether or not it's iMusicAcademy or somewhere else, get to where you're interacting with other musicians and talking about, if it's blues and jazz and piano, whatever it is you're interested in. I definitely love the idea of connecting with people. And I've been doing that with a small group of people for the last 2 years. We've had 6 people that have been on the underground community building, but there's no going back to just creating courses for me. Now, again, I've always taught lessons, private lessons, and through online and through local teaching, but there's something great happens when we get together as a community to do this stuff. In addition to learning about each other, we can also do really cool things for other people. And I'm going to give you 2 examples. If you're just now joining us and you're checking this out, you guys have helped us get instruments in the past for other kids, scholarships for kids, and even a couple years ago, sent right before COVID, sent a young man to jazz camp, which was a very cool thing. And so that was really nice. So as we get to close to 1 million views, we're at 990 or 91,000 views. We're going to do something when we get to 1 million for somebody. We're going to either do scholarship for somebody, an instrument for somebody, or send somebody to a jazz camp. There's something really cool that happens when a young person gets to go to a jazz camp. All right, so enough of that. Now let's get into practicing. So the first thing, what I'm going to do is teach you guys we're going to get our fingers going again. Repetition is your friend, so I'm going to jump around. I've got 10 things that I send out in the email, and I will be skipping around and talking about each one of these ideas. And again, the goal for today is I'm bringing you into the community aspect of what we do here, and I want to encourage you to do these following things. You're going to warm up your fingers every day, and we're doing the first exercise of 50 days to flying fingers, which is our C triad. And let me know if anybody needs the chart to that. I will send that to you, or put a link in the description. I know Ted and Vicky already have it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So the C major triad, but you have to hold the bottom notes. So it's C, E, G, and then D, F, and G. You're going to do this every day. It's a great way to start your day and working your fingers. 4 times. I'm doing it faster than you're supposed to do it, just for the sake of time. Now I'm going to do it reverse. We're going to go G, E, C, F, D, C, holding the top notes. And you're going to notice that your fingers are weak, your 4th and 5th fingers. But if you do it for even a week, you will notice a difference. And you start working every finger every day in some way, you're going to notice a huge difference in your technique. Okay, so that's the first exercise we're going to do. We did yesterday. And for my group, I want you guys to make sure you're doing that every day. When you sit down at the keyboard, it just takes a minute or two to get those fingers moving again. It's really important to work those every day. So the next thing we're going to do is, let's say you, instead of doing that, you want to do another 5-note pattern. Well, let's do the first 5 notes of the blues scale. So in the key of C, we know our major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. We're just using the first 5 notes, C, D, E, F, and G. And I'm doing 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, and 5. This is the first 5 notes of the C minor blues scale. 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4, and 5. And what I love about this specific idea is that this is a shape. At iMusicAcademy, I just call it shape 1, because if you know this specific shape, it can help you with blues ideas for the entire blues. Now in this case, I'll demonstrate this with just a C blues, a basic C G to C A, and we're doing 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and I'll do the 3 chords, C, F, or G. But I'm just going to stay on this C shape 1 bass line. So all those notes are going to work. I'll do it again. Even over my F chord, listen. Now I'll go to G. Okay, so then what you would do is, yes, you can put that in both hands, and now you have C, E flat, F, F sharp, and G. This is a great warm-up exercise, works all the fingers, and you have 5 notes that are going to work over the entire blues progression. So I can do this. Okay, Okay, you see how easy that was? I just did the first 5 notes of the blues scale, shape 1. And how cool is it that if you learn this shape and you get used to putting your fingers over each note of the first 5 notes of the C blues scale, C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, and I mash it all down and I get used to this as a shape, that gives me already a bunch of notes that are going to work, and it doesn't matter what order, all of them work. Or F, or F sharp, or G. And talk about confidence. You learn that shape, and then you say, all right, well, let me put it in one other key. Well, yesterday in our live lesson, the underground lesson, we went inside the membership area and we did this B major scale. And we said, all right, well, let's learn the same minor scale, and now we're in B. Guess what? So root and fifth of a B major scale. So then you have 5 notes there that will work in the key of B. So if you're playing with your friends in the key of B, or your guitar player friends in the key of A or D, whatever the scale, whatever the key is, you have a one shape that's going to work through everything. All right, now let's keep going down the list. We're doing great. And let's go ahead and go into the membership area. Something that I always wanted to do as I was getting into this idea of creating courses, and I always wanted to have a place online where people could go and access everything, and we finally did it. Well, I did it 2 years ago. A very quick story is that I have 6 people that for the last 2 years, they've been students of mine, and they still are, and they're part of this underground membership, and all it is all of the courses are online. So yes, I have PDFs available for purchase and everything, but I wanted to have a way that we could not only have courses and everything online, but do it in a systematic approach. That's why I've called this the Blues Roadmaps. So within this fun little group that we have, we do stuff like this. We say, okay, we're on the home page, and this is the Blues Academy. Yes, there are other things. Let me see. Oh, it says access now. I'm not even logged in. Hold on a second. Wait, yes, I am logged in. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I said we're working on Blues Volume 1, so I'm going to hit Access Now. Okay, so I'm not logged in. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm logging in as a student. All right. Yep. Okay. Let me go back here. I want to show you guys this. This is cool. So whenever you log in, and everybody knows this because I sent out your everything that for this last week, I resent all of everybody's login because when we launched the Blues Academy, you guys know that everything's organized for the blues pathways. All right, and right now we're doing Blues Volume 1. So you log into your account, and it will keep you logged in, especially if you're constantly, every day or so, or even every couple of days, it'll still keep you logged in. But if it doesn't keep you logged in, it remembers everything. Notice how easy it was for me to get back in. And then I just go here, I'll go Access Now, and then it pulls up Blues Volume 1. Now here's what I absolutely love about this, is that everything is so organized. If I hit play right here, I don't even have to be on a live for you guys to go through each individual lesson. And then I do, all right, there's Blues Example 1. It works great on my phone as well, and tablets. I love to use it on my iPad. But then when I'm done, I hit completed, and I already did this. I do mark as complete, and then it goes up here and it says, all right, you've completed 1 lesson out of 10 or 11, whatever it is. Okay, now let's get the fingers warmed up with what we did yesterday. So this is the 8th note lesson, and all we're doing is back and forth. What a great exercise / lick to do. And then as soon as we do this as a warm-up, we're going to go over our blues alternate bass lines that go with this lesson, okay? So again, if you're just now coming on. It's good to see you, Humble May. Good to see you as always. But let's go ahead and dig right in. This is a great way for me to warm up. I'm just doing example 1. Now the 4 chord of the C blues is F, right? This is a review for a lot of us. We were doing this yesterday, so I don't need to break everything down. And it's the same shape. That's what I love about this. Now we're on the key of F. Go back to C. Okay, G chord. Now what I keep doing right now is what we did yesterday of the ending, da, 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 and all we're doing is C down to B flat, so you go down a whole step, and then chromatically down to the G. In our left hand we do C up to E, F, F sharp, and G, da, 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 and we arrive at G. And the reason we're doing this and kind of focusing in on this is because this pattern will help you in any key. If I'm in the key of F, I go down a whole step or up to the 3rd, da, 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 and we end on the C, which is the 5th note of the F scale. If I'm in G, right? So we're using our ear, and we're building up our confidence by even having a simple way to turn around or place a chord progression to get us back to the top. Da, 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 and then we start back over. Fun little thing that I like to do on this specific example, yes, you can do the first lick, and when you go to F, you do the same thing on F, and then on G, use the G pattern. But when you go to F, it would sound bad if I stayed on F, on the C, and tried to play that. That wouldn't sound good because we need that E flat. So one fun little thing you can do is just change your C major into a C minor chord. So listen to what I did there. I'll do it one more time. Now I'll just do a C minor chord. All right, now I'm going to show you, let's go over our bass lines. We'll keep this moving. Now, if I look at number 5 of the email I sent out, or in the description, it says repetition is your friend. So when I say repetition is your friend, I love for you guys when you guys do this as another great way to warm up. But also, let's talk about our transposition. In order to play blues example 1, you either have one of 2 fingerings. You're either on a slide key, or Ted, what's the other one? Yes, it's contagious. And speaking of bebop piano, for May, what I've been doing, and I did yesterday with my student, was that very same thing of how do you get to where you're doing bebop type piano things. Even in my transposition toolbox, I do that, and I would encourage everybody to do that. This is just a little tip for Humble May, who likes jazz a lot. As you have this, right? If you take the first 5 notes of any scale and you do da 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 da, and you go 3, 4, 5, da da, that's already intro to jazz. And also this da 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 da. So whatever key I'm in, I'm using approach notes and doing little jazz ideas. And even these jazzy ideas blues ideas of the next lick that we're doing today. We're going to do blues example 10. Let me go into the membership area and go ahead and click on that for you guys. And let's just see this one. So it says, if you wanted to watch the lesson, you just hit play and you're good to go. But it's this example right here. And this is the short version. In Blues Volume 4, we actually do this. I'll do it again. Actually is a pattern that is very it's just a couple little things you have to know to be able to play that over the whole keyboard. The reason I bring up this specific lick is because this is perfect for blues or in jazz. You hear Oscar Peterson all the time playing this kind of sound, or any jazz player, they're going to put that in their jazz blues playing, and it's a great little concept to get under our fingers. It's the third up to the root, and then cross over with our second finger, and now you're on the ninth up to the flat 7. And you end on the flat 7 and the 5th. It gives you a nice little bluesy sound there. So if I'm just going to play quarter notes in the left hand, what about on F? If I do that on F, I go third up to the root with the same exact fingering. I'm going root, 3, 5, 3, crossover. Now I'm the ninth up to the flat 7, root 6, and end on the flat 7 and 5th. The same exact pattern. Now we're in F. Now over the G chord, I can do the same thing. I can do 3 up to the root, crossover, and now I'm at the ninth up to the flat 7, and end on the flat 7 and 5th again. Now, repetition, once you get that pattern under your fingers, you're good to go, and you can play that in any key. And that's the short version of the pattern. I don't think I'll go into the longer version because it takes a little, it's just a few more little twists. But you talk about focusing in on one lesson or one idea that will really help you out in any key. This would be an example an example to use. Okay, so as I'm doing this, da 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 da, we're doing ear training right now. We're building up muscle memory. We're building up confidence as we're doing this. This lick will never change. Da 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 da, and you'll start to hear that third note of your blues. Da 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 da, and I go da 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 da. We're building up ear training, right? We're getting that sound in our head, and then we're building up the muscle memory. I love it. I love the fact that we can do that. So then, let's say that you're starting your day off and you think, I got 10 minutes to practice. Well, you're going to spend about 2 minutes practicing your fingers, getting your fingers warmed up, or this. And then you go right to your lesson of third up to the root, chromatically down, and then our left hand, or eighth notes in the bass line. And then if you have a little bit more experience, do one of our newer bass lines. We did the eighth, the New Orleans type feel. 1 and 2 and know I like to teach how do you lock up the hands. That's one of the challenges that people often have, and I get it. I understand why it can feel a little strange to try to lock up the hands. 1 and 2 and. That's the reason why we have trouble. 1 and 2 and. That syncopated offbeat feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So what I'm going to do is mathematically break it down and slow it down and straighten it out. So I have a classical background, so when I was learning about music, I had to learn, well, how do you lock up the hands anyway? And if you think of it in a mathematical way, it does all line up. If I think 1 and 2, oh, E flat with the E, nice little tension there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. G gets the D. And watch this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the B flat and the G gets the E that time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's by itself. The G is by itself there. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we could say, well, let's do the other bass line that we did yesterday, the Ray Charles-ish one. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Oh, where did it lock up? The same place. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's where you have to do it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's a little bit more on the tricky side, so we'll have to slow it down. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So if you were to try to play that one, which it's a little bit more difficult if you're a beginner to lock that up. But how would you do it? If you just tried to play it like this. I know how tough that can feel. You're like, well, what in the world is my left hand doing? What is my right hand doing? But if you slow it down and you have the music also, that helps, right? But if you did it like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and. Let me try to slow it down. It's sometimes more difficult to slow it down. And 2 and 3 and 4 and. So notice that this never stops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So then you have to just break it down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I'm going to go B flat and G together, and then D, and then G and D flat. And 2 and 3, even slower. Put that in the chat if you understand that or if you find that difficult at times. What's up, Jeffrey? Can always count on Jeffrey to show up. All right, guys, as we're doing this, make sure you continue to like the video. I think we're going to get up to 20 likes this time. But let me just say a couple things about this, about practicing is that as we're breaking these things down, and we have to start wherever our level is, everybody's at a different level, but just know that it is possible to break all of this down, right? If you're doing the Ray Charles thing, we took the blues example 1, and I had this idea of I want to make a course that helps people lock up the hands. That's one of my most important thing, because I have literally taught thousands of people music, okay, through individual lessons, through workshops, through camps, to whatever. And one of the most difficult things for people to do is to lock up the hands, and I get it because I've struggled with that too. Like we don't all just are able to play this kind of stuff without even thinking about it, right? We have to learn a system how to lock things up. And the way you do it is, one way you do it is playing things slow and straight. In my opinion, you have to if you mathematically can break it down and practice with hands separate, right? I think it can really help us out. So in this case, if we're trying to so I had this idea of this course, and so the blues alternate bass course, shows you how to play all these things and lock up the hands. I have a video somewhere of locking up the hands. Let me do this. So I'm going to go, you guys are on the inside of iMusicAcademy, Blues Academy. So happy to have this as a resource for my students, Vicky, and for Ted, and I'm sure the rest of them will come in here in a little while. But this is so cool, and you just hit access now, and boom, there you go. And so yesterday we were working on some of these, and the cool thing is about these, one thing is that all the music is always right under the video. So if you hit play, and it shows you that. All right, so that's the New Orleans one. So this whole chorus, which I love, is once we get done with that, we hit completed and we're good to go, and it tells me, all right, I've completed 2 out of 10. All right, now this New Orleans feel kind of thing is an example of locking up the hands. So this whole course, the Blues Alternate Volume 1, is all about locking up the hands with one lick. I love it. And for my more experienced players, you guys can take this one idea and go into different keys and do the same exact thing. But focusing on one lick is really helpful. So in this case, if you're locking up this is great with the 8th notes. And if you're having trouble, you slow it down, straighten it out. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now if you're going to do the New Orleans feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Notice that my C is with my E, and then my F and A are with the G. And when I go to F, it's the same shape. Watch this, F. Okay, so let's say that I've worked on that for a while. That's the New Orleans feel and Blues Example 1. What about going to Blues Example 10, which is one of the things we said we were going to do today, but now we're going to lock this up with the New Orleans feel. 1 and 2 and. There's my E flat. So I had this. About this. All right, you see what I'm doing there? I'm taking one idea, Blues Example 1, and I took Blues Example 10, and I said, all right, this is what I'm focusing on right now, and I'm practicing locking up the hands with different alternate blues bass lines. If you're more on the beginner side, just practice the 8th note pattern, or you could actually do it in quarter notes, 1 and 2 and 3. Or you could just practice left hand only if you're very much a beginner. Getting used to that where you don't repeat the pinky. I'm sorry, you do repeat the pinky every time. C, C. And then, or just your right hand only. Get used to that slide. Okay, let me take a quick coffee/water break. Thank you guys for the likes that are coming in. Please let me know if this is making sense to you guys. Hey Helga, good to see you. Helga, it's been a while since I've heard from you. All right, so really good to see you guys. And what I love about what's happening at iMusicAcademy, you know, we're coming up on, I mean, we're not too far from 15,000 subscribers. I think we're about to hit our stride where we're going to get a lot more people. But what has been really crazy lately is the community side of things. I love the fact that we started our Blues Academy to the public, which is very cool. And then the shorts are going really crazy. You guys have seen Bob's Butter Chords, which I put on here that we're going to go through a little of that today. But I literally will put up a short about the butter chords or any of my shorts that are jazz related, and we'll have, you know, close to 1,000 views or 500, 600, 700, 800, and lots of people are emailing me and commenting and talking about that kind of stuff, which I'm very thankful for. I like the idea of Bob's butter chords. We've been doing jazz type things, but these are all simple ways to sound really good with these chords, there are really cool shortcuts you can do to sound like $1,000,000. And so that's what I've been doing. That's why I called it Bob's butter chords. I asked my wife, I said, do you know why I call it butter chords, Bob's butter chords? And she kind of laughed. And she said, I don't know, because they're smooth or something. I said, yes. So anyway, all right, so let's go over this list again. What we are focusing on today, and we've already been doing this, 2 licks from Volume 1. We did Blues Volume 1, Example 1, and Example 10. Now, let's, as we're talking about locking up the hands, number 3 is the alternate bass lines, which we're doing. We're focusing in on these 2 licks, and you have so far this 8th note pattern. I wanted to do the quarter note bass line, I just do it like this. I'm just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 again. So if I want to do the New Orleans feel, now let's do same thing. Well, let's do the 4th one. We'll do the Ray Charles, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, the way you're going to get that, again, if you're just trying to play this without any kind of proper instruction, that might be hard to do. But if you do this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but do it straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you put the right hand with it. 1 and 2 and the E is with the C. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Notice how I did that at the end. 1 and 2, that's together. 1 and 2 and 3 and G and C together, and then F and A are together, and then the G and C are together again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now we've sort of taken the mystery out of learning this idea, right? What was hard? Where are you going? Well, how do I lock up the hands? Now you know. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and several of you guys and girls on iMusicAcademy and through the emails, you tell me what your background is. You have a classical background and you're learning about jazz. And if any of you who have that background are actually on here right now, and I know some of you do, put that in the chat. Just say, that's me. Because I know we have a mixture of a lot of people. I do get emails of people saying, I'm classically trained, but I'm really wanting to learn about jazz and things. So I'm really excited about that, because that's one of my favorite things, is to get students who can read music and show them how easy it is for someone like them to learn how to play blues and jazz. You just have to shift your mindset a little bit, but it really opens up your world when you can take this sheet music that I give you guys and also read it. And then I want to encourage my people who don't read as much. I'm about to go through exactly the fast track on how to get good at reading music. And I have a very fast track, so I'm going to be doing that. We're going to probably do it this next week. We've been so into our really focused practice for the Blues Academy that we haven't actually launched that yet. But what we did do, let me show you guys something really quickly. I'm going to go back to the home. So now in the Blues Academy, we have, this is for, of course, Vicky, Ted, and anybody else who's listening that are in the Blues Academy. Blues volumes 1 through 4 are all in there. Blues Piano Basslines Volume 1. Blues Shapes course is in there, and Blues Shapes in all keys, and then the Transpose Toolbox. And I also put the Easy Jazz, the extended, actually, jazz piano thing. I decided to put that in there. Okay, so Transposition Toolbox. This is cool because this has all of our PDFs right here of the Transposition Toolbox, and this is what helps us transpose as we've been working on this. And there are lots of licks that are, again, are jazzy, but learning how to transpose on all keys, I absolutely love to teach that, and that's why I had the idea of the Transposition Toolbox, because everything we do will fit right under the hand. There's 32 exercises that gets us playing in all keys. And I told you guys yesterday, my student, my local student, I only have room for a couple of students that are local, a very talented young man, and we went through, in 10 minutes, we went through 5 or 6 things in all keys. We did this, we did this, we did in all keys. And so knowing your major scales is the first step that we do about learning about theory and being able to play in all keys. It's just a fun little process. So just know that that is also coming. Now, why would I even say the importance of the Transposition Toolbox and learning how to play your major scales and learning about these patterns in all keys? Because it helps you transpose anything in any key and actually do it really easily. So when I show my student, when I say, all right, let's go to F, well, we're going up by half steps, right? And I say, all right, let's do this. And we're in the key of F. Now we're in the key of F sharp. He knows that, okay, my scale of F has 1 flat. Okay, I'm going to address scales in just a minute. But as we learn our major scales, and I want everybody to make sure you know your major scales, that we learn that, then we have confidence to transpose anything in any key. All right, let's go back to the chat. Let me take a sip of coffee. Nice. Okay, so let's keep going on. Let me talk about this. I love that you guys interact with each other. Again, I've been wanting this for a long time, and it's finally here, and it's awesome. I love the fact that I can even go live, and then you guys are talking to each other before I even get on. And even when I leave, that's pretty cool too. All right, so somebody put anything that you're having trouble with. Let's just do a quick, I know I have a question and answer time coming up, and we're about to talk about scales. I'm going to give you guys a really helpful tip. And I actually had my student do this yesterday, and I think he saw the benefit of it as well. We've been talking about the benefits of community. That's part of our email that went out too, but I'm telling you, it makes all the difference. So we have a guy in Scotland, okay, which Ian is in Scotland, which I absolutely love. And we have people scattered all throughout the earth, which I love. And how crazy is it that we can just hit one button and all be together? But it keeps it fun. It keeps us motivated. Yeah, counting left-hand bass lines. Yeah, I think we have 27 that I've written out, and I've only done Blues Volume 1, but I like to teach all of it, and I like to play all of them. Just to show you guys that are actually in our academy, here are a couple of things to look forward to. Is we have this bass line, right? And we have this bass line, quarter notes. I like everybody, doesn't matter, you don't have to be in the academy to learn these things. You have this bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. You have the Ray Charles one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then let's do 1 and 2 and 3. This is one of my favorite ones. This is all muscle memory. You get this and you practice left hand only, then you can have a conversation with somebody else while you're doing it. The only reason I could do this is because the the muscle memory kicks in. Yes. You know, having a classical background is such a really cool thing. For me, it really helped open up the possibilities to what your fingers can do in and what the hand can do if you're given good instruction, which I'm very thankful that I had a really great classical teacher. But one of the things that I learned right off the bat was making sure that you have the consistency of getting your fingers moving every day, and also just learning about reading music. With this exercise, when I created the 50 Days to Flying Fingers, it's my absolute favorite course I've ever created. And that was from the lessons that I had with him, and then doing my own thing with it. But we do, even in that course, it's very, at times it's very difficult. And even though it's 50 days to flying fingers, and so every day is a different exercise, and they're of course all written out, and I'm practicing with you guys, but I really worked hard to figure out the best things to do. But there are things like really hard arpeggios, but they're really fantastic. Like that, I just decided, well, we do arpeggios, but how about harmonizing them in a different in tenths, for instance? And then at the end, there's a really hard jazz etude of the 50 days. Now, the one thing that I didn't do a good job is ordering them in the idea of hard, easiest to hard. I think it was a little too scattered. So it's day one is this. Day two is probably this. I can't remember. And then day 3 or 4 gets into craziness too fast. So I'm going to, at some point, not change the material, but reorder the material. All right. Any questions on anything? We were about to dig into scales. And then we'll finish up with showing you about that butter chords, and then we'll have a quick question and answer. All right, before I do scales, there's something that I didn't do that I was going to do. Is we've been working on the alternate bass lines. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, so if you want to use that bass line right there, the Ray Charles one, you have to learn 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's what makes that one a little more difficult. It's the syncopated feel, the offbeat feel. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and for Helga and for Ted and anyone that has a more of a classical background, Ted's very well rounded, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, you have to get and 4 and. It's a little difficult. So when you're putting that with the right hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then it makes it even more difficult when you do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. But the way to get it is exactly what I just did, and even slower. 1 and 2 and. All right, now we've got that part of it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get it right away, but you will get it, and you're going to start to get where locking up the hands is not only a priority, but it's something that will become easy for you, especially somebody who knows about reading music. If you have the charts and you have the fingerings, and you have, of course, me to help you along the way if you need help with those kinds of things. But locking up the hands is one of my absolute favorite things to do. Okay, now let's keep moving on, and let's do, before I do scales, let's revisit the Ray Charles thing. Somebody just type in Ray if you want me to do that. I keep getting people saying over and over, I love the Ray Charles stuff. Can we do the workshop again? So. Very good. Let's get one more Ray and we're good. Ray, yay. All right. Ted's a famous actor, by the way, everyone. I'll let him tell you about that later. Okay. The Ray Charles lick idea that we've been doing at iMusicAcademy, whoever's a member, I always create a song for that person. And when I got to know Claire a couple years ago, I found out that liked Ray Charles, as we all do, and we ended up doing a workshop on what I'd say, right? And so we did a whole workshop, and I created all these PDFs and everything, but we used one of the main things we focused on. We were in the key of E, but we were using the bass line from what I'd say, and we'd go. So we did a whole workshop on how to do that. But we're just going to focus again on the right hand, because there's some things that you learn, especially if you are or were a classical player. You have to get used to a new, what I'm calling a down home fingering. We're taking blues scale notes. All of these are blues scale notes. And it's just the feel that you have to get. And the way you do it is by using these down home fingerings, right? So what I'm doing is my thumb on F, and I'm taking my second finger and sliding up to G. That's the first thing. F, F sharp, G. And now I'm going to go B flat, C with 4 and 5. Now I'm using my middle finger. Da, 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 da. When I started classical music, they would have never said for me to do 3-3 from F sharp to F. It just doesn't seem like you should do it like that. Da, 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 da. I probably, if I were trying to play that years ago, I probably would have played it like this. 4-3, 4-3, but that doesn't sound right. In order to play it right, you have to play it wrong. That is weird, and I don't know why I'm laughing at myself, but I guess somebody's got to laugh at me. Isn't that weird how you learn things like I would never have done that? But I love it now. So practice this in the same way that I had to do it. I just did 1, 2, 2. So my target note is getting to that G, and I like the idea of just practicing this F, F sharp, G, but my downbeat is the G. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. That's with the quarter note bass line. So I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Oops. 2 and 3 again. Let's do a different bass line. Let's do eighth notes. And 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. Let's do the New Orleans type feel. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, where do the beats line up? 1 and 2 and. Notice that my F sharp to F and my E line up perfect. And 2 and. I'm on that F by the time I hit that C. 3 and 4. Uh-oh, G and C are together. And it starts over. There are lots of different ways that we talk about how to get that groove going, but I'm going to keep it simple for today's lesson, and we're just going to do this. But I will say this, the Ray Charles, I've already told Claire that the Ray Charles workshop is coming back in the membership area, which I'm super excited about. So get this lick down, everyone. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and I have a really cool bonus tip for you, is that this idea, starting on the 5th, up to the flat 7 in the root is such a powerful phrase, even that one phrase. I started thinking, well, what else? Where else could we put that? Well, another thing you can do is go minor third to major third with the same hand motion, but instead of going up to the 5th, now I'm going up to the 3rd, and now you have this. And 3 and 4. Again. 2 and listen to the difference. And 2 and 3 and what I have to do is slow it down and straighten it out. So I'm 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and my D gets the E. 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, we'll come back to that at a later time, but we're going to talk about scales in just a minute. Let me swing around here. I told you guys that I'm having trouble with my neck because I've been playing and teaching for long periods at a time, looking to my left. So what I'm doing right now, I think my iMusicAcademy family is helping me get a desk that faces straight on and the keyboard faces straight on. So we're working on that. But in the meantime, I'm playing for a while, and then I'm turning around like this and getting situated and talk to you guys, and then going back to doing the playing. So I'm not ignoring you. I'm just letting you guys know. All right, any questions about anything we've done so far? We're about to do a quick crash course reminder on the importance of scales, and have a very cool trick to show even my classical players. Yeah, the Ray workshops was really popular, and we do stuff like this in the same way that we do our bass lines, where you do lots of different bass lines. That's even one to actually practice. If you do 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I think we're at $160, and thank you, of course, Ted, for your donation. We're still working on that, and we'll get there. I've got my friend that's building the desk, who is a master carpenter guy, and the desk I was going to get is actually I was going to get it online, and it's not even in stock anymore anyway. But my friend said, "Hey, I'll build you one," and so it will fit right under. It'll be a straight facing desk and have a drawer that you just put the keyboard on, and I pull it right out, and we're good. And I'll fix the lights and everything, so that'll be good. But that's definitely why my neck is all messed up. This has been a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and this is the future of where we're going. 100%. Like every day, we are pretty much almost every day we connect on talk about music and practice, and people, I'll get emails from our members at night and be like, hey, I didn't get to see the live stream today, but I really enjoyed the lesson and I'm watching it now, or something like that. And that's really cool. People are really enjoying it, and they know how I feel. I absolutely love teaching everyone, and we're having a good time. All right, so let's talk about scales for a minute. Who knows? This will be a fun little trick. Who knows all of their major scales? And you have to impress anyone. If you know 0 major scales, that's fine, because it doesn't matter where you are. I can show you how to get to where you want to be. But when I say major scales, you know them. You can say 1 octave. I can play them in 1 octave. Or if you know all of your major scales in 2 octaves, put that. Or I don't know all of them, or I just know a couple. Just put that in there, because I want to show you guys some really cool things. This is a judgment-free zone. You guys should know by now. That's true. Lock up the hands, not my neck. Yeah. All right, okay, so Ted, are you I can't remember if you told me, but I want to make sure that ultimately that everybody knows their major scales, but also if you're a little more into it, it's not a bad idea to learn them in all key. Sorry, 2 octaves. If you can play a major scale in 2 octaves, you can play them in 4 octaves. But it's really good as you practice moving up and down the keyboard. And while people are talking, let me just keep talking about the scales because I don't want to just sit here and not be teaching you guys. So as we're doing this, I like to tell my students to go forward. Make sure you know them going up and backwards. Here's what I mean by this: C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. So when I started music, it was a crash course. I started in college. I had no idea what I was doing, and all of a sudden they said, by tomorrow you need to know your scales, and then the test will be this next week. Everybody else in the class had been having music for years. I had to learn my majors and minor scales, so I did a quick crash course. I wrote all the scales out. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and I put a comma after. I had this idea, well, how am I going to memorize all these? How am I going to get them all down? So I did C, D, E, F, and I wrote out a comma. And then I did G, A, B, C. So I did this idea of C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So I work on C, D, E, F, C, D, E, F, C, D, F, and then G, A, B, C, okay? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now, guess what? Then I worked on the way back down. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. C, B, A, G, C, B, A, G. Don't even have to be at your keyboard to do this. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And I will bet that everybody that is watching this right now could do this. You write it out, and I know Ted already wrote this out for us in our chat the other day. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Now you can do it on the way back down. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. This is how you own a scale, in my opinion. You know it where you can say it out loud going up and down. You can think about these things not even at your keyboard or your instrument. Now I can go C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. In the same way that I made my kids learn Z, Y, X, Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, E, F, E, D, C, B, N, A. It's as easy as learning your alphabet going up. Vicky, bless you, Vicky. Thank you so much. Vicky, you're very sweet to do that. Vicky has been my #1 from the beginning. Thank you so much, Vicky. That's very nice. Very thankful. As you go down the scale, C, B, A, G, F, E, D. Vicky, I'll put that in the desk fund. Thank you so much for your donation. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. You own it. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Now, let's go to another. Somebody else pick another scale. Helga or Ted or Jeffrey. Again, repetition is your friend. And even though I went through this yesterday, this is helping us all. That's very nice. Vicky, that's awesome. Thank you for that. Somebody else pick out a key. B flat. I don't know B flat. Let's do a different key. Just kidding. B flat, C, D, E flat, comma. B flat, C, D, E flat. F, G, A, B flat. So, and I would encourage everybody to write these out. Even if you know your major scales, write it out. It will make a difference. B flat, C, D, E flat, and put a comma. B flat, C, D, E flat, comma. Now F, G, A, B flat, and I would spend time going F, G, A, B flat, F, G, A, B flat. Now I'll try to go all the way up. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. Again, I could be sitting at a traffic light and be thinking about this stuff. Now let's go on the way back down. B flat, A, G, F. Of course, you have your comma there. B flat, A, G, F. 4-note groupings. B flat, A, G, F. B flat, A, G, F. E flat, D, C, B flat. E flat, D, C, B flat. Now I'll try to do it. B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. All right, now we're making it happen. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat, B flat, A flat, B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. So what I was, when you get to the top, practice saying, if you're saying it going backward, I like to, backwards, I like to say the note again at the top. B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. B flat, A, G, F, E flat, D, C, B flat. Somebody else do another one. All right, Vicky did E flat, F, G, A flat, comma. E flat, F, G, A flat. E flat, F, G, A flat. B flat, C, D, E flat. B flat, C, D, E flat. B flat, C, D, E flat. Now let's go back down. E flat, D, C, B flat. E flat, D, C, B flat. So I'm thinking about the scale, the notes, E flat, D, C, B flat. You can visualize your keyboard, E flat, D, C, B flat, or you can visualize the notation if you read music, E flat, D, C, B flat, E flat, D, C, B flat, and then your A flat, G, F, E flat, A flat, G, F, and then try to go E flat, F, G, A flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, D, C, B flat, A flat, G, F, E flat. All right, let's do one more. Somebody put one more in the chat. How awesome is it that we can gather together and go over these things and keep repeating, because it just gets easier and easier each time we do it, and then you really start to own it. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And as you're playing things and thinking about things, you'll be able to not only play them thinking about the notes going up and down, but also teach somebody else how to do it, or write out a phrase and easily come up with the notes of what they are. A flat. That's too hard, Jeffrey. Let's do another. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, comma. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, comma. Then E flat, F, G, A flat, E flat, F, G, A flat, E flat, F, G. And that has a nice little ring to it. E flat, F, G, A flat. So then I put those together. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. And then I think next four, E flat, F, G, A flat. Now on the way back down, A flat, G, F, E flat. A flat, G, F, E flat. A flat, G, F, E flat. And then I think of the next one, D flat, C, B flat, A flat. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. And then I try to do it all the way up. A flat, B flat, C, D flat, E flat, F, G, A flat. And I'm still thinking four note groupings. A flat, G, F, E flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat. Absolutely. The comma is what will really help, and practicing in four note groupings. If we try to think about everything as one long one long scale, it feel a little bit overwhelming. In the same way, Ted, that practicing huge amounts of material, you get something that has a whole piece of music, let's say you're trying to read or play, it can feel overwhelming at times. Everybody's different. Everybody has, some people can handle a little more information, and some people are better at focusing on two measures. I like for my students to do two measures at a time with a lot of things we do. If you'll see a lot of my PDFs, you'll see certain things. This transpose toolbox, I said, well, how can I get people to think about all the patterns fitting under the hand? That's right, two measures at a time, right under the hand. So notice the transposition toolbox, guess what? Two measures, and everything fits under the hand. Notice that when I did the book on in the Blues Academy for alternate bass lines, all you have to think about is the left hand, because you've already put in the work. I don't want to say you don't have to think about the right hand, but it will be easier to lock up the hand with one idea in the right hand. That's why we do that, right? When I did the easy jazz course, we started off with, this is your first example. Okay, learning about the first 5 notes of the blues scale, which is in the Blues Academy for anybody who would like to revisit that. And then guess what? We said, all right, you know your C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and you take the third note and the B flat. So the third note and the seventh note and flat it. Now you have a 2-note jazz voicing. The next thing we did in that chorus is we said, all right, in addition to having the 2-note voicing, you can do a 3-note voicing, a 3, a flat 7, and a 9. And now you have anyone can play in a jazzy style just by knowing this. And then we said, all right, well, we can also add an idea of a slide lick. We did something like that, right? So building blocks, and then by example 5, you're doing on the easy jazz course. Example 5 teaches you this: the flat third of the scale of D, and the flat 7. You have this, and we teach this simple walking bass line, and then we say, all right, we can also do that with 3-note voicing, and I talk about that, how you do that, but we're building blocks. And then we do a 4-note voicing, and then we do a loop. So even an absolute beginner can learn how to do this stuff if you know how to take it one little piece at a time. All right, any questions about that? I hope that the scale thing helped you out. I hope that you guys do it. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you're a beginner, just do C this week. If you're a little more advanced, do C, F, and G. Let me go over, do you guys want me to go over scale fingerings, or do you want to go over butter chords, or do you have any other questions? I'm probably over my time. Let's see. Oh my gosh, I'm so far over whatever I said. That's hilarious. Time flies when you're having fun. All right, we're going to wrap up in realistically 10 minutes. So we're opening it up for question and answer, and if you have any questions of what we've already done today. And while we're wrapping it up, I'm going to give you a few other very simple tips. So when you start practicing each day, you know I like for you guys to get your fingers moving. Also, exercises are a great way to do that. Another thing is, if I'm feeling in a blues mood, or if I need to get in a blues mood, I like to do the flat 7 of whatever key I'm in. So in case of C major, the flat 7, if I go da 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 da, and then the major third, even rolling it up, is a great just way to get into the blues. Da 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 da. So I'm just doing flat 7, da 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 da, and then going down to the third. I just love that sound for blues. Another thing that you can do is take that idea and also think about your guide tones. Ted, Vicky, Jeffrey, you guys all know that we work on guide tones. What are guide tones? Does anybody want to put in there what is the definition of a guide tone? And while I'm waiting for your answers, class, very much appreciate anybody who's watching this either right now or on the live stream. Make sure you like this video. It helps the algorithm. It helps us get to more people to learn about the channel. It helps us to get closer to the 1 million on the one video coming up. You should be. Oh, you're asking about the comments for the membership? Yeah. So the way, Ted, that's a great question. The way I've been doing it recently is we've gone public, but we haven't really gone public with the membership. So what I've been doing is adding people who buy the bundle. I think you originally bought the bundle and a few of you others, and I've been adding them manually. So if they get the bundle, then I add you right to the membership area and send out. Great question. Yeah, so the third, it tells us whether or not it's major, and great job, Helga. The third tells us the quality, whether or not it's major or minor. But the seventh is the other one. The third and the seventh. The seventh tells you whether or not it's a major seven. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. So it tells you the flat seven. So the 3 and the flat 7 is what I was looking for. Boom da. But even that gives you a nice sound. What's great about guide tones is 3 up to flat 7, just going down by a half step gets us to flat 7 and 3. Da, 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 very smooth transition. So then I could go. So you get the idea, right? Guide tones, but a very simple way to get in the blues spirit is by doing the B flat. Another way to do it is to think about the A blues scale, the A note. So great thing about the A note is that it has just such a neat sound over the blues, in the same way that the blues scale on the flat 7 gets you into the blues spirit. The A, here's why I like the A note, is because it often is hovering around that E flat. Let me give you an example. One of the tricks we talk about at iMusicAcademy is when you learn the C blues scale, first 5 notes, especially from the shapes course that we have, is that every note's going to work. A cool trick to use is down. Now Helga will know about this, and Vicky and Ted, is that you have your relative minor scale. So C major has a relative minor scale. So if I go down 3 half steps, 1, 2, 3, now I'm at A, and I can play the first 4 notes of the A blues scale. So you have this. Just like this, right? Just like we use the C, but transpose it down to A, and all of those notes are going to work. Even when I go to F. So that's going to sound fantastic, and that's a great way to also get into the bluesiness, is thinking about the A scale or the C blues scale. And there's so many different ways to sort of get in the mood to practice. That's one of them. Let me go over. Let's wind up by me talking. Make sure I covered everything. Anybody have any questions regarding anything? It's been a lot of fun. We're getting a whole lot done, and I love the fact that we have these things now. All right, so what's cool about the Blues Academy is that you guys know that we did the blues shapes course somewhere around Christmas, and that course I took it out of the store just because I think it might be in the store. I can't remember, but so many people like the idea of the blues shapes course because it makes it really easy to sound really good by just knowing shapes. And guess what? You can take shapes and put them in all keys. So then what we did is I came up with this idea is the shapes course is 1 hour, and I literally turn on the backing track and I show you, oh, well, we can do this this shape. We have shape 3, we have shape 2, we have the Oscar Peterson shape, and there are tons of different little shapes. And then it was so popular, I said, well, let's do a boot camp. So we did a boot camp, blues shapes in all keys. So I decided to put that as well in the Blues Academy. And so, like, if you click Access Now, you'll see that you have example 1, 3 different keys each day, and each one is about 10, 11 minutes long or however. So it's bonus shape 3, bonus shape 2, bonus shape 1. But I love the idea that we go through even in the shapes course, all keys. And let me wind up by giving you one of these fun blues bonus shapes. So shape number 3 is a really, really cool thing. I love shape 3, and I'll tell you why. Because it takes the top half of the blues scale. Okay, the top half of the blues scale. So if this is your blues scale, C, E flat, F, F sharp, G, B flat, C, and you guys know there's a way I like to teach that you use that F sharp fingering to make sure you transition up and down the keyboard. There's a way I like to visualize using that F sharp. But if you think of it as 2 different shapes, you have the first shape number 1, which is the most important shape at iMusicAcademy for blues success right off the bat, is that if you go up to the top and you do G, B flat, C, E flat, this is shape 3. Now what's neat about this is the 5 of the C scale, the flat 7, the root, and the minor third. But here's your trick, is that you use your middle finger, and all you have to do is middle finger, and you put it on the key you're in. And then your 4th finger is already set up for the flat 3rd of the scale. Your index finger is ready to go on the flat 7, and your thumb is ready to go. And so you have that shape right there, and that'll work over every single chord. That kind of thing. So all of those notes work, and what's great about that is I could either do shape 1 or I could do Alright, so somebody pick another key. Let's fire it out in rapid fire. I'm going to show you how these shapes work and how cool they are and how beneficial they are to really sounding like you know what you're doing very quickly, and even if you're a pro, you'll appreciate these shapes. This is another reason why I love the community that we're creating, is because, it's hard at times to just, let's say you have a course or a book. You might go through it and you might be really disciplined and focused, but there's something really nice when you have somebody or we're working together. Hey, let's go work on blues example 1 today. Let's get those fingers moving. Let's do all that. And so that's what I love about this. And we're communicating with each other. All right, so Vicky said E. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'll go to my note with my middle finger. Now my pinky is going to get that minor third up the top, and there's my flat 7, and there's the 5th. So now if I'm in the key of E, and I go. Okay, and then Ted said F sharp. Ted, I can't play an F sharp. No, I can. Okay, so F sharp, middle finger goes on F sharp. My pinky goes up to the minor third, and I go down. So now I have this. I'll even go down to the blues scale. Watch this. I did. Right? I showed you guys, okay, well, you can take any key, C, and go down a whole step, and then go up to the major third of the scale, and go chromatically up and down. Well, we were just in F sharp, and I went down a whole step, and chromatically up to the third. Very cool and simple. All right, I'm gonna give you one more, and then we'll call it a day. And that is the Oscar Peterson shape that is also in the shapes course. Is this it's an Oscar Peterson type shape. Lots of pianists use this, but your pinky goes on the top of whatever key you're in, and then you go up to the fourth note of the scale of whatever key you're in, and you go to the minor third. So you have this. I like to do we go da 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 C minor. So I turn whatever key I'm in to minor. So somebody else pick another key. Let's do 2 more keys, and then we'll call it a day. We're having so much fun, it's hard to break away, but I'll let you guys go in a minute. Yeah, very, very simple. And this last week, I think some of you guys know that I've been going live sort of for the whole YouTube community, and I have been posting a lot more and things like that. There are tons of free examples here and there. And for the community, for the last 2 years, almost 2 years, I've had a select group of people that's just like this. Ted's a recent member, but I feel like I've known Ted forever. Vicky's been around from the beginning. Jeffrey, he's not a member, but he's definitely 100% in support of iMusicAcademy. He's on every live stream that I do, and Jeffrey's a longtime friend. I very much appreciate that. So nobody has to be a member of anything of mine. I appreciate every bit of support. But there are people who have been faithfully, have joined the underground version to get us to this point, and now we're public, we're live, and the kind of stuff we're doing now is the same thing we've been doing for 2 years, and it's all are getting close to 2 years, and it's all, nobody ever sees it because it's all unlisted, and it's all we've just been working together and building up the community, and it's what I had always wanted to do, is build that community. And so it's happening, and that's thanks to you guys. But it's really fun to be able to be a part of a group that's working together. And not only for music lessons, but occasionally we'll do something for somebody else. And we're going to do something for somebody nice, a young student, like a teenager who either needs an instrument or needs lessons, or they're going to a jazz camp. We might do a partial scholarship or something like that. So iMusicAcademy has been really cool, and the people who have been a part of it, it's been amazing. So we're about to be at 1 million views on my worst quality video that's the most popular. Can somebody put the link up there, because you guys have been commenting on each day, and I've had Fanny commented, Jeffrey commented yesterday, Vicky and Ted, I think, all commented on that video. The more you guys comment on that one video, the quicker we're going to get there. We're at 991,000 views. So you don't have to put anything other than, well, I like it or whatever. But there's something that happens when people comment on your videos. It really helps the algorithm for sure. All right, so Jeffrey said C sharp. Let's do C sharp. That's a good key for the Oscar Peterson. And the reason this is good, because Jeffrey, if I'm doing C, I said, all right, you're going to put your pinky on the root of whatever key you're in. You're going to go to the fourth note of the scale, which is F, and then my minor third. If I go C sharp or D flat, there's my major scale. So my pinky is on the top. That's on the D flat. And then my index finger's on the fourth note of that scale, F sharp, and then there's my minor third right there. And then watch this, da 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 da. There's my C sharp minor. Remember that I said I wanted you to go minor after that. So on here. Watch this. If I go ba, then what's the next note? And something else that I did that you may have picked up on. I hadn't planned on doing that, but when I was first doing the lick for Jeffrey, and I went da 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 da. Guess what that set up perfect is putting my middle finger on the root of the key, which is C sharp, and then I went. Same idea. Go down a whole step and up to the third. Da, 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 da. Doesn't matter what key we're in. F, B flat. Does that make any sense? That blues shapes course, the boot camp was actually pretty popular as well, because we go through we say, all right, we have the track, and we're doing, all right, first we'll do the Oscar Peterson. We do a whole course of that, and then we go up there, and then. That kind of thing. All right, thank you for the likes. I was hoping we'd get to 10. All right, butter chords. I kind of showed you a little bit about what we're doing there. We'll go for 2 more minutes, guys. You can say your goodbyes. I know this is a long stream, but Thursdays are my days where I'm technically off, and I can get a lot done in the studio, and we have a lot of fun on our streams. I want to know what you guys practiced today. We got 1 minute left. All right, I expect you guys to have fun practicing some things. you'll see in the membership area, there are a couple of things that I've been working on and loading in. One of those, let me go back here. So Ted and Vicky, you guys can very soon. I'm gonna make this available in our Blues Academy. The Blues Volume 1 in all keys is the same way. It goes by. I broke it down by 3 examples at a time. So you do C, example 1, and then you go up to C sharp, which is that hammer-on key. I talk about, all right, scale of D flat, E, A flat, F, G flat, A flat, that kind of thing. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. And then we learn that, and then I go, all right, you either have a hammer-on key or a slide key. And then the first day you do that, which is also a hammer-on key. Then you go back. The other thing, so Blues Volume 2 did that in all keys. Chord shortcuts is fun because it takes very simple things like a G triad and you put it with a C triad spread out or rolled, either one, however you want to do it. And now you have a really cool jazz chord by just using simple chord shortcuts. I could even take a G major 7 chord, right? Another thing that's in the chord shortcuts, G major 7, and I can put an F sharp. Oh, listen to that. Or I could put an E in the bass. Listen to that. Now that's not in the Blues Academy. That's in our jazz for my All Access group. But you guys see how nice that is when you hear like Perdido or these jazz songs. All that is a C triad, a C minor chord with the 9th in it, which sounds really cool, and then some cool little inner voicings. But it starts with a simple shape, and then you put different notes with it. You take one shape, F major 7, and now you put a D in the bass, and now you have a nice D minor 9. So they're fun little shortcuts that you can do to really make you sound like $1,000,000. Yeah. Melodic minor scale is awesome. Yep. In fact, you may or may not seen, Jeffrey, all the things I've done, like even with the diminished scale. Like, it's amazing what you can do with these scales. A diminished scale, you can play a diminished scale, or you can turn it around, or you can turn it around like that. And it just really opens up your world. And then you start to say, well, let me play licks based on the diminished scale. And then, anyway, that's for more of the jazz side of things, but I love to teach all of that stuff. All right, any questions? Or does anybody have anything as we wrap up of they want me to cover or they're having trouble? I won't do it in today's lesson, but you can make your request known right now for the next minute. And then I'll let you guys go ahead and start saying your goodbyes. Awesome. Are you doing, Helga, you're going to do... I literally have, I think I have 3 spots left for April. I'm doing it to where I'm going to allow, I think I said 6 people per time, per month as we get going. And there's a reason, is because I want to know you guys, just like I know Ted. Ted is a member. Vicky's been with me forever. And it's really important for me to get to know you guys, because we're in this together, and that's the way we get a lot done. That'll mean if you end up signing up, Helga, I'll send you as soon as it comes through, I'll send you your login information, and you'll also have the hard copies of the new 3.0 version. So I think on that bundle, I made it. You'll have 5 different courses. I even put some extra stuff in that bundle. What did I put in that bundle? I did 20 tips for. I think so. Yes. Yeah, you'll get a bunch of stuff, but in addition to that, Helga, you're gonna be in our group, and you'll have immediate access. I just have to manually send it out because we literally, as I told Ted, we're live. We're just not quite live yet. In other words, I haven't done any advertising, and thankfully we have 3 slots left, which I like. We have 3 slots, and we haven't even done any advertising. The main thing is I want to work with you guys, and it's a lot of fun. I like the fact that Helga's been emailing me. We've been talking back and forth, but she fits in perfect with this group. In fact, everybody who comes in here, Pat is another person that is signing up in June. He's been on every live stream telling me about his situation. He's signing up in June. And then we have Charity. Charity bought 50 Days to Flying Fingers and all the courses, and she's going to become a member also in June. So in May, I'll have 6 more slots lined up, but I still have 3 at this point. But that way we get to know each other. And for anybody who wants more information about what we're doing here and you're brand new, you can email me, bob@iMusicAcademy.com, and tell me what you're interested in, what your story is, and I would love to talk to you and help you guys. And even if there's somebody out there that wants to figure out how to practice or get better, or they're frustrated with the way things are going, just email me and tell me all about it, and I will help you get on the right track. Even if you decide you don't want to become a member of our Blues Academy, I will help you point you in the right direction. How about that? Perfect. All right, iMusic Academy, I would like to welcome Helga to our iMusic Academy family officially. Now, you've been a part of it from the beginning, but I want to say thank you personally for trusting in me and this process. I had a really good feeling about you the first day that I got the email from you, and I am super excited to do that. So when I get on this live stream, I'm going to send you your login information. You also have all the PDFs, but I don't want you to get overwhelmed with all of those PDFs. There are our newest versions, which are really cool because they have all clickable indexes, and you'll be able to zip around to anything you want to zip around. But I want you to enjoy the process of where we are right now. That's right, she's alumni. Awesome, Helga. So guys, yeah, welcome. So now we have 2 slots left for April, and it's still early in April. I have a feeling that that people will sign up to get us to that 12 number. And just a little fun fact, again, is why I decided 6 people at a time, because I spent 2.5 years, or not 2.5 years, 1.5 years, coming up on 2 years with 6 people, and I was able to really connect with them. It's like, this is a good number. I think we're at a stage now where we can add 6 new people on, and I've decided at this point to do per month, and that way I can say, all right, I don't want to be the guy who just has people, one, just buying my courses, which again, I'm thankful for that. If you want to buy my courses and you're disciplined to go through it, I'm cool with that. But I also know that the community aspect is what really is important to me. I want to help you guys with this. And if you're a member of iMusic Academy, you know that you can text me if you want to text me, or you can join our WhatsApp chat group, or you can email me at any time, and I will help you navigate any struggles that you have. I'm here for you guys, and I'm technically your teacher when you sign on, so I can help point you in the right direction. And for you, Helga, what you're going to do is you will be set up with, of course, the emails that I send out to our group, and I'm really, really excited to have you, and so is everybody else here. All right, so everybody tell each other bye, and I will probably do a stream tomorrow. You guys know there are a couple things that have happened recently, is that we have our basically, I've been doing extra lessons because we are having so much fun, and I've even been going live more to the YouTube group. But just know that, Helga, you'll be getting a lot of information through email and things, but I might even do a stream tomorrow just for the YouTube community, and I'll just send out something. But it won't be as long as this stream. This has just been a lot of fun, and that's the way these things are happening with iMusic Academy. It's like, this is what I've been wanting for a long time, and we get to know each other, and we talk about our what's really working, what our struggles are, and lots in between. All right, Helga, thank you so much. Yep, Helga, you are saying something that is so important. I've had people tell me that when I say as much as I stream for our group, there are people that would say that aren't in the group. They say, man, that's not good. Don't stream so much, and just stream every once in a while and all that. And I'm thinking, nobody's going to practice if I don't go live. And so I think in addition to helping you guys out, it helps me as well as a teacher, and just I'm basically in charge of our group, and I like that. I take it as a really as a blessing and an important opportunity to keep people having fun while you're learning. So you are right, Helga, and this will encourage you to practice. And what I want you guys, everybody on this list, make sure every day you're doing your finger exercise. And what I love to hear is you guys tell me how it's working after a week even. Ted, I know you've already seen an increase in your finger strength by doing such a short time. And then Vicky, I know you have been doing these exercises as well. And now we're bringing Helga in. All right, guys. Well, once again, you have made my day. And so a shout out to Ted, to Helga for joining our family, which, Helga, I want you to know we are very excited to have you as a part of our family, and you fit perfectly in with the rest of our group. Vicky, Jeffrey, Helga, Ted, you guys are awesome. It's been a lot of fun. Anybody who watches this, if you actually make it to the end of this stream, then congratulations. I'm impressed. We did a lot of hanging out. But today was a really good day because somebody else came into our Music Academy family. So thank you so much for that. Helga, thank you for trusting in me and everybody else. And to our Blues Academy members who aren't on the stream, who watch it later, hey to you, and look for an email from me tomorrow. And also, remember, everybody, when you leave this stream, make sure you tell you bye to each other, but go to my most awful famous video. Does somebody put the link in there for us? Make it easy. And just put a comment in there. Awesome, Helga. Yeah, go to the How to Be a Blues Pro in 10 minutes or whatever that is. And just do a random comment in there. If you ever are feeling bad or have a bad day, just go read some of the comments. They are quite funny. But we're getting close to 1 million. That is going to be a fun day when we get to that, because we're going to come up with a plan. We're coming up with a plan to do something nice for somebody. We're either going to buy an instrument, lessons for somebody, or sending a young teenager to a jazz camp. So one of those three things when we get to 1 million. So just know that when you're going out and liking that video or commenting on that video, that there's going to be a special thing we do at iMusicAcademy when we get to that point. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Go have fun practicing, and thank you so much to our team. You guys are awesome, and I can't thank you enough for how awesome you are. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.